Hello everyone, Victor here, and in today's lesson I'm gonna show you the best way of get the reference of any object in your Godot scene, right? Today I'm using the Godot version 4 and I have a really simple scene here with a main root node, a character, a knight, and a fog as a child of the knight. And the most common way of get the reference of an object, a node, inside any script is in this way. I will just create a script here in my knight to make an example for you. And let's suppose that I want to get the reference of the fog, which is a child of the knight, from the knight script. Well, the easiest way of doing this is just going here on my ready method, my ready function, and creating a variable which I'm gonna call fog. And to get the reference of this object, I could just use the method getNode in this way and pass the path of the node. For instance, fog, right? There is a shorthand which is really common and we will see in many tutorials and many other projects, which is this guy here. I can do this thing here, $ and fog, which is the equivalent to this guy here on the top, right? So it's really common. This notation here, this $ notations is really common in the Godot community, right? So this basically means that inside the knight, inside the object that holds this script here, we're gonna search for an object, a node called fog, right? Let's suppose that we have another object here called timer in this way, right? Timer also is a child of the knight as the fog, as like the fog, right? And let's suppose that I want to get the reference of the timer here inside the knight script. How do we get this? Really simple. We can just create a new variable here, which I'm gonna call my knight in this way, my timer in this way. And to get the reference of the timer, we just need to type $ and the name of the object, which is timer. So it's really simple to get the reference of the object. But I don't really like this way of doing this, especially in Godot 4, because in Godot 4 there is a new way which is really better than this to get the reference of any node in your project. I have some problems with this approach here, because when you need to make a total refactor of your structure, changing nodes of positions and things like this, the code will not update alone. You need to update this in hand one by one, and it's actually really bad. The best way of doing this for me in Godot 4 is just using the export to make a field on your script where you can drag the node that you want inside your script. I will show you this. Let's suppose that I want to expose a simple value in my script, like a money value. I can create a new variable called money, which will hold the money value of the knight. And let's suppose that I want to show this variable here in my inspector. What can I do is really simple. I can just put here this expression, export at export, okay, in Godot 4, and it will make my variable appears here in my inspector, and I can just change this value here, right? The same thing happens and is possible to do now in Godot 4, right? What I mean is really simple. Let's suppose that I want to get the reference of a sprite node. I can just create a variable here, which I'm gonna call, let me delete these old variables here. Let's suppose that I want to create a new variable called fog, and this variable will be of the type sprite2d in this way, right? Now the magic happens, because if I put the annotation export here in Godot 4, now we have a magic field here, which is amazing, which I can just look at that. I will select that knight with the script, and as you can see here, there is a new field called fog, which I can assign any sprite to the node here. So for instance, I can just assign, I can just drag and drop my fog node here, as you can see, which is amazing because now I can just change the structure of my scene as I want, and this won't change the reference here, which is amazing. This is a really powerful feature that Godot brings in its 4th version, right? So this is amazing. This is the best way of getting the reference of any object and node inside Godot, right? I can do the same thing for the timer. So for the timer, I can do the export and create a new variable called main timer in this way, and this variable will be of the type timer, right? In this way. So it means that I can put any node which is from the type timer here in my field. Look at that. Let's suppose that I want to put this timer here. I can just do it. I can just click here and drag here. Now my night script in this instance has this fog node and this timer node as its references here. So if I want, for instance, to create another timer, let's suppose that I have here another timer object, which is our secondary timer. I could just change the reference just by dragging this guy here. Now I have an object which is not even a child of our night being referenced by our night script. So guys, if you are using the Godot 4 engine, I strongly recommend you to use this new approach of getting the reference of nodes from your scripts, right? Let's forget about the get node. Let's forget about the $sign operator, because these guys here are not really good for refactoring, for restructuring of the nodes of the scene. And I really think that this new feature here of Godot 4 is a game changer for the engine. It will be a lot easier for bigger projects to have a good scalability in its architecture. So that's it.